We really did not utilize the space well, did we?
We did not. Who needs space? And we're a podcast. We're not supposed to be seeing everybody's faces, right? And we're back after our long break. With us now we have Jordan Patton.
Aaron Ferguson.
And Aaron Ferguson. And they are...
We are the creators of DeadNecks. It's
Let me get a little bit closer.
We're the creators of DeadNecks. It's an up-and-coming show idea that Aaron and myself have been working on for a little over a year now.
The idea behind DeadNecks is we are, our slogan kind of is we're going to bring cartoons to real life. It's everything's practical effects. There's going to be animatronics, masks and makeups, large-scale sets, miniature models.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really just a live-action horror comedy. Like Aaron said, we're bringing cartoons to life. So all of our characters are very bright in color, but it still has that dark horror undertones to them.
So what kind of, I mean, you said it was live action, is it animation or?
So it's kind of a mix-up of anything special effects related. That's what my background is special effects. So we're going to incorporate miniature models, large-scale sets, animatronics, makeups, some stop motion here and there, pretty much anything and everything that hits on all of practical special effects.
That's awesome. So what about, I'm really interested in animatronics. Who's the animatronics guy?
So right now I've been doing all the animatronics. I learned that while I was at school. We've got a few animatronic creatures right now as well as characters. We've got a character over at our booth right now. Her name's Ma Slackjaw. She's big, fat
Is she the
lady.
like 6 foot, 5 foot, whatever?
She's
huge
got
one?
the beer curlers in her hair, but she's got mechanisms in her hands so that when you put your fingers in these rings, you pull those and it pulls the large fingers down. So it kind of works that. It's like a giant puppet essentially.
That's awesome. So very Henson-esque style kind of.
Definitely got that Jim Henson feel to it.
Awesome.
What's the premise of the show?
So the premise of the show is
the show's called DeadNecks. It is zombie rednecks. They're dead zombie rednecks.
They just live in their own world, their own small town. There's always crazy stuff happening. We've got so many different characters, and they've got all different backgrounds, different stories, and everything. So the way that the episodes are going to be kind of shot is it's going to be reminiscent of Looney Tunes. All the different characters with their different scenes and sets and everything.
Okay.
So it'll pan back and forth between all the different characters, and you'll see them all meet up and collide at the end of an episode and see it all come together.
So not necessarily like a full-on congruent storyline, but more bits and pieces, and then occasionally different characters will pass.
Yep.
That's cool. So, Jordan, you were on Face Off, correct?
Yeah.
On SyFy?
Yeah, I was on season 9 of SyFy Channel's Face Off, and made it through 12 episodes out of 14, so I got pretty close to that $100,000, but not quite.
Yeah, you did really well, and I loved a lot of your designs on it.
Thank you.
My girlfriend Ginger watches it religiously. I just come and go as I'm like, oh yeah, she's watching it right before bed. I'll pop in and so how different was the experience of what we saw on what we saw on TV versus what you experienced?
There was a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes. Like they didn't show hardly any of what went on at the house. We got into all kinds of crazy things at the house behind the scenes. So, like we didn't have our cell phones, anything like that. So we were just kind of like trapped in this house. So we always came up with all kinds of things to do. We were given tablets though, so we would go around and make our own little film projects just to pass the time.
Yeah.
We made a spoof of The Shining called The Shastening. It was sponsored by Shasta. The beverage, but there was one scene we made a miniature model out of cardboard. It was like the elevator doors opening up and all the blood coming out. We poured Shasta down through it, and it opened up these cardboard elevator doors. It was interesting. So
even off camera, you guys were just constantly creating.
Oh yeah, I mean we had to have something to do, otherwise we were going to go stir crazy.
Oh yeah, without the phones now, I mean, what are you going to do, right?
So how much of a fear of God do they actually put in you of saying, you can't spoil what happens until the show airs? Are they pretty lawyery about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty big and lengthy non-disclosure agreement that you're under. And it pretty much scares you into not saying a word.
So how are you guys, what's the timeline as far as DeadNecks goes?
We're hoping, the goal is to have the Kickstarter up this month. And once we're funded through Kickstarter, then we're going to just go crazy and hit the ground running. Because everything we've done so far has been completely out of our pockets. Our funding is just what me and Jordan have put into the project. Yep. So we're asking for $20,000 on Kickstarter. And if we get that, we'll be able to get a space, and our time we're going to crank out the pilot episode. We're hoping maybe around October-ish for Halloween time, and then we're just going to keep going from there.
Right.
Oh, nice.
We bounced back to DeadNecks, and I lost my flow. So, did being on Face Off help? I mean, I imagine being around so many creative people. I mean, did it really give you more fuel to your fire?
It definitely did, because before Face Off, I did a lot of masks and a lot of like statues, just static sculptures. Yeah. Now I'm more into doing the makeups, turning myself and Aaron into characters that can move around and react. So, I mean, DeadNecks originally was going to be a cartoon. Yeah. But after doing the face-off thing, me and Aaron were both like, yeah, let's do it live action. And there's no shows out there like that. I mean, there was dinosaurs like back in the day.
Yeah.
But that's about the only thing that I can think of that is somewhat reminiscent of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I love that there's such a big movement towards more practical effects in movies.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's I think that a practical effect just adds, even with CGI as amazing as it can be, just having something that you can tell is really there adds so much more.
Yeah,
like there's a whole burgeoning horror movie movement about going back to that.
Yeah, I love all the old like B horror movies. It's like Dead Alive, Evil Dead. All that. It's just it's got that corny feel to it, but you know that it's real, real props.
Have you seen Terror Tunes?
I've seen.
That's what makes me think with what you're describing in the art style is very practical effects, cartoony. That they come out of a cartoon and just kill people with like mallets to the head. It's so terrible, but it's an awesome movie.
We're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, we got it down.
So, Aaron, what's your part in DeadNecks?
So we grew up as best friends. We've known each other our whole lives. He's always been extremely talented and creative. He moved to Pittsburgh right out of high school, and I just recently moved to Pittsburgh. And every night we'd kind of get down, hang out, and we'd start thinking of ideas. We'd like just bounce ideas off of each other. So when we, like you said, we wanted to make it a cartoon, and then we got a book, and we just started writing and writing and writing and writing. And when he left for Face Off, as soon as he came back, we said, we're going to make this live action. So I've been I've been writing scripts, and both of us, we are going to be the actors in it too. So you're going to get characters like Dead Slack Joe going to be there, and Paul Slack Joe. So we do all the voice acting as well together. But as far as the creations, I also like fabricate, and we built a full-scale set, and we did that together, fabricated the whole thing.
Right. So, I mean, as far as it goes, being such a small, you kind of have to be jack of all trades and experiment with each other's crafts.
Trying to be a two-man wrecking crew, essentially.
I know exactly how it is.
So your goal is like a web series? Is that how you're wanting to do it?
Web series would be nice, but I think our real goal is to be on a network somewhere.
Yeah.
Even Netflix, Adult Swim, HBO, something. That's what we'd really. When we create this first episode, the pilot episode with our Kickstarter money, we're going to use that to really pitch it hard and hope someone picks it up.
So you're going to use the pilot episode to kind of shop around and see if you can drum up interest?
Yes. And it's going to show that, I mean, if we can, for what we've done so far on our tiny budget out of our pockets, if we could show any kind of network that we can create something amazing for a small budget, like I think that would just really help too.
What's the rating going to be like? Like, what are you guys shooting for as far as like what the rating of the show would be?
I'd say maybe like TV 17, maybe
some late night.
Some Adult Swimmy, not too.
It's going to be pretty raunchy.
I mean, as you were discussing it, I mean, it sounds very Squidbillies-esque, only with more of the horror and Yeah.
A lot of inspiration, a lot of stuff like that, but it's just like a lot of our inspiration came from cartoons, and we would just want to bring it to a live action setting.
Right. Yeah, that sounds really awesome. I don't have, let's see. I'll come over to the booth here in a little while and take a few pictures, so when we post this up, we'll have...
Sweet.
I think I'm going to try and get a gallery going on our website of just everything that's happening.
Good deal.
Right on.
So where can people find your stuff?
So you can come to our Facebook page, just facebook.com/DeadNecks, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram, just DeadNecks, and we'll be the first thing pops up.
And that's where all the updates on your Kickstarter and when that's going to launch and all that'll be?
All of our updates on when our Kickstarter is launching, all of our links to our videos and everything, all through Facebook and Instagram.
Do you guys have a YouTube channel or anything that you're posting to, or Vimeo?
Yeah, our YouTube name is just under DeadNecks World. And,
all one word?
No, it's DeadNecks and then World, 2 words. So,
So if you use the search.
Gotcha.
Search it,
All right, and do you want to give like your personal phone numbers or addresses or anything if anybody wants to find you? Like
maybe the ideas of your firstborn children's names so people can snipe it. And...
Yeah, sure.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate it. We'll let you get
we
back.
appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
It was nice to meet you, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Like that cross street.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. That's awesome. Real rapid fire. I love it.
I didn't want to keep them too long. Thanks for watching the table for us, Danny.
Thanks for making sure it didn't walk away. Or thanks for saving that mic.
You haven't changed your shirt.
It's fine. This is the first time I've been on video with this shirt.
That's true.
Don't misunderstand, viewers. We love Danny more than anybody else in this world.
Yeah.
We just also love to make fun of him as much.
All right,
So now we're gonna reset. We're gonna reset, and then we'll be right back. Grab the mouse. Turn off the webcam.
Sorry, we're listening to you.
Grab the mouse. Turn off the webcam.
What did you want me to do now?